The Victoria's Secret fashion show became a cultural touchstone that embodied glitz, glamour, and sexuality over the course of its 20-year run.
It's more about the bodies, I think.
I make sure that they don't put stuff on that's like butt naked.
But following societal shifts and the Me Too movement, it started to epitomize the company's problems.
Here we go, sweetie.
Now, after a 4-year hiatus, the event is back. But Victoria's Secret has a delicate tightrope to walk between totally rebranding itself and relying on its successful roots.
Victoria's Secret was founded in 1977 by Roy Raymond, who started the company initially for men to shop for their wives and girlfriends, but it quickly became popular among women as well. And by the mid-'80s and the late '90s, Victoria's Secret had on board models like Heidi Klum and Tyra Banks, who really brought cultural significance to a brand that really only started in suburban malls.
There was so much noise made about the way these supermodels looked. They were super tall, they were super lean. So it really did create a narrowly impossible beauty standard that very few people could meet.
By the early 2000s, Victoria's Secret's fashion show had millions of viewers every year, and it really became a cultural symbol of both what it means to be sexy, but also where to buy your underwear and lingerie.
Then, in the midst of some highly publicized sexual assault charges against some of Hollywood's elite, a movement started by Tarana Burke back in 2006 explodes online, and hashtag #MeToo is everywhere.
I was sexually assaulted a bunch of times.
We're here, we're woke, we are ready.
Once the Me Too movement really gained traction in the US and more women were coming out with their stories of sexual abuse and harassment, questions about all kinds of marketing, especially marketing that was perpetuated by men, came into question. And Victoria's Secret, of course, was dominated by male leaders.
You have to be beautiful, you have to be athletic, you have to be healthy.
Victoria's Secret Chief Marketing Officer Ed Razek came out and said that the company would never hire transgender or plus-size models in its fashion show. Sales peaked in 2017 at $7.8 billion, but beginning in 2018 started to decline.
People wanted to see body types that looked like them, for it not to have its size range be large enough for the average American woman can be really disheartening for a lot of people.
In 2019, Victoria's Secret said it would cancel its annual fashion show. The viewership had been declining for some years, which is also evidence of the sort of cultural shift.
Victoria's Secret has been under fire for a long time. It raises a question about the whole image of the company.
Prior to 2021, Victoria's Secret was part of a larger parent company called Brands, which also owned The Limited and Bath & Body Works.
This is a ladies' paradise.
Les Wexner, who is a prominent Ohio billionaire, was at the helm of Brands. And Wexner developed a personal relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. Epstein used that connection to try to get closer to young women.
He does have very close ties to Jeff Epstein that will potentially hurt his business a lot.
In 2020, Wexner stepped down from his role as CEO. Victoria's Secret was spun out of Brands as its own public company. And since it went public in August of 2021, the shares are down more than 65%.
Let's talk about scams.
The landscape of the lingerie and underwear market was changing. Consumers were consistently spending more online even before COVID-19.
Small brands founded on Instagram or direct-to-consumer brands that were focused on e-commerce started to eat into market share.
In recent years, we've seen a lot of female-fronted brands like Parade, like Rihanna's Savage Fenty brand. Nubian Skin was one that in the very early days expanded the shade range. If you think about the way Lively and Spanx in particular highlighted their female founders, it was a matter of we want this to be comfortable, and that contrasts greatly with Victoria's Secret. Many of them are also still accessible price-wise.
Hi everyone, Megan Rapinoe here.
Meanwhile, Victoria's Secret dives into its rebrand, leaning into diversity and inclusion with several new campaigns.
We're embedding DE&I into our business initiatives that are both internal-facing but also consumer-facing, so touching our customers, and supplier diversity is.
The relaunch of the iconic fashion show is an opportunity for the brand to put a button on all of these changes. Instead of a live event, it'll premiere as a film this fall, featuring designers from around the world.
There will be angels, there will be wings, and they've said that they are going to work with some of the models that were part of the original production.
There's a lot of younger generations who are really idolizing the aughts. They really do want the glitz and the glamour So there can be that traction there.
From a year earlier, in the first 3 months of 2023, sales are down 11%. And the company said in early June that the full year forecast will be weaker than it originally expected. Despite the sales decline, its power isn't gone. Victoria's Secret remains the largest player in the US lingerie market. It has nearly 1,000 stores globally. It's still selling billions of dollars worth of products every year. And it's one of the few public companies in this market. And so it doesn't seem like it's going away anytime soon.